everybody, we're out here at OSU Disc Golf Course. We're going to test the Hades today in the wind.
Headwind special.
My first throw was into the wind. It went out of bounds, but I definitely know not to throw it flat into the wind. It's not a good idea. Next up, hole 12. It's about 315. You can see the wind's down a little bit right now, but I'm gonna play it straight, let it turn a little bit. Coming in! Too far. Good line. It really wants to hold a straight line if there's no wind to push it. Yeah, it just wants to go. It kind of reminds me of a Dominator by Innova with the smaller rim, slightly smaller maybe. It goes far, really far. The one I'm throwing is 172, maybe 173 with a pop top. She goes. All right, so this hole's pretty short. I'm gonna try to throw a forehand on this one. This is what I'm throwing. Nice little domey top. Okay, a little nose up, hit the tree. Oh, putt. Something I noticed about that last flight, if you put it a little nose up, it will, it's not really that easy to turn over, unless you throw it hard. But we like to throw finesse shots on this side, so it worked out. All right, so if I throw this hole how the sign says, it's gonna go out of bounds by a mile. So I'm gonna throw a spike hyzer forehand. Try not to let it flip up really much at all. Just spike in. Oh wow. Back towards the basket, that'll do. So if you put them on a hyzer and it doesn't flip up, it still goes. That's not gonna dump into the ground one bit. It's gonna actually lift and then go sideways and then fall. All right, so I didn't get that last one on video. These guys were jumping in front of me and I had to tell them what was up, so I just threw. I threw a hyzer. It's kind of into the wind, but I committed more to my angle. And it hit the tree kind of where I wanted it to. It's a little long. This disc wants to go. It wants to go and go and go. It doesn't stop. But it'll get better. All right, here we go, hole 16. It's a shorty. I'm gonna try to get it a little closer so you guys can see if I nail it. All right. Here's the Hades on a 160-foot hole. Wow. Well, I just tried it for the first time. Low speed, little flare skip. It skipped huge. So it is slightly understable, but if you get it on that angle on a hyzer finish and it skips, it's gonna go. So just be aware. All right, 231 feet. gonna take probably a hyzer around the right side, maybe a little more of a stall shot. We'll see if it stalls out. This thing likes to go. And it's out of bounds. Yeah. When this thing stops going forward, it doesn't fall to the ground. It lifts, it goes sideways, and then it goes left. So just be aware of that, especially if the wind is blowing in the direction right to left for right-handers. 11, so this is the 8th hole. It's 55 feet. I'm gonna go right of the trees, through the gap, kind of straight at it. But I don't want it to flip over and I don't want it to sail long. So let's see if I can control the angle. Oh, that's tasty. That's just feet from the bucket. So if you power down on it, it holds a nice straight line. A lot of you medium arm speed guys are gonna love that. This is the 9th hole I'm playing. It's about 360 feet. Nothing a Hades can't bite off, especially with this wind. The wind's blowing right to left, tailwind. So, hoping for just a nice easy hyzer to pick up flat and then carry and do that big left swoop that the Hades likes to do. Alright, here goes. Uh-oh. Well, that's gonna crush her. Alright, well, it didn't do what I thought it was gonna do. So I wanted to throw a hyzer and have it hold the hyzer and just fly straight. But I don't know if the wind changed direction or if I just threw it too hard, and it picked up flat. It's probably about 80 feet past the basket, but no biggie. Hole 2, 58 yards, right through the gap in the trees. Let's see, I'm probably gonna throw a forehand up the left side and risk the edge of the parking lot. Hades. He likes air more. I'm gonna go up the right side. Uh-oh. Oh, got through. As with any high-speed driver, it's not the easiest to put on the right line, but it's doable. Hole 3, 90 yards. Gonna play the hyzer around the right. The basket's straight down this little tunnel, but that's not the route. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna have to get this thing really hyzered and throw it pretty high for it to stall out. Oh man. Well, it's 30 feet, but it did not want to go left until the very end of the flight. Not a bad shot. It did go left very, very hard at the end. So the 2 fade, I would say, is fairly accurate. All right, hole 4. It's one of the more difficult birdies out here. It's 327. The trees on the left have really grown in. I'm gonna throw the Hades on a hyzer. I'm gonna have it flip up flat. I'm gonna throw it pretty high, and hopefully, and I mean hopefully, it stalls out and comes right at the basket. Here goes. Oh, it held it. No, it's fine straight. Oh, wow. This is gonna take some figuring out, but it was a good flight. I just didn't throw it right. Hole 5, 68 yards. Another hole that's not really meant for a driver like this. It's about 204 feet. Just gonna be a soft hyzer. If I give it any more than that, it's gonna flip and go really far. I don't want that. Oh yeah, oh, skipped. So I did get that skip that it usually gets. It's only 20 long. It was on a good line, but always room for improvement. 5 holes left. Hole 6, 87 yards. So that's about 261. It's right up there around the tree line. All right, first throw with the Hades. I'm really gonna have to focus on not throwing it too hard. And that's 5 feet. Very controllable if you throw it right. All right, hole 7. You can't take the line they tell you. There's trees there. So I'm gonna take a hyzer up along the right side and hopefully it comes back. Oh no, sit down, sit down, sit. That's long. So if the wind gets a hold of it, it's gonna go. All right, hole 8, 300 feet. It's pretty much just a hyzer, but there's danger to the left of the basket that'll obstruct your putt. So I'm gonna try to set it down in the right place. It might be pretty difficult though. We'll see. Coming in. Absolute money. That's only been 3/4 of a round and I'm already starting to dial it in. It's really good for any shot, any condition, except a stiff headwind. But that'll be later in my wrap up. 3 feet. I've not been this close before with the Hades to the basket. It's hole 8 at OSU. Oh yeah. All right, hole 9, next to last hole. This is not really a hole that I would throw the Hades on, but we're gonna try it out. I've aced this once before with a Star Wraith. So maybe I just have good juju, I don't know it. Spike hyzer. I think I'm really dialing it in now. Hole 10, 79 yards, 237 feet. Straight ahead, pretty much wide open. So it's gonna be a hyzer. Inbounds, a little long. Kind of muscled into that one, hoping to smash some chains, but it didn't happen. It's all good. Alright, that wraps up my test of the Hades, the new McBeth prototype. It's the end of May 2020. Just came out maybe 5 days ago. Just got out to test it, and it goes far. Some people compare it to a Thrasher. It's maybe more similar to the numbers of a Thrasher, but maybe a Nuke SS with a little bit less distance potential. It's probably slightly easier to control, so there's a little trade-off there. it'll handle a little bit of wind as long as you don't force it over into the wind. I'm throwing a 170, and they go as light as 150 class. I don't know exactly how light they go, but if you have a low or medium type of arm, definitely going to want to pick one of these up. I throw a Zeus about 440, 450, and the Hades goes about 50 feet further. So I can pretty much get 500 or so without overexerting myself. Maybe a little further, but I doubt it. But that's all I have for today. Go get a Hades. They're great.